It's all about the spark of life, which we're going to be talking about tonight, and why AlphaMeta supplies that, and why it's one of the core essential ingredients that you need in order to have energy and to have optimal life. What is optimal health? Well, disease-free, of course, optimal stamina and vitality, minimal premature aging. You can be 40 or 50 and be disease-ridden and indolent, and it's horrible. Or you can be 120 and just have optimal health, and that's what we are aspiring for. But it's not so much the quantity, it's the quality that matters most of all. Linus Pauling was the developer of vitamin C, and we know how beneficial vitamin C is for so many conditions and for health overall. And by giving the body and the cells the right molecules, optimum nutrition, most diseases would be eradicated. Now, isn't that interesting? It's simple and as straightforward as you can be. It's just the core. Many people say we are what we eat. Well, we're also what we assimilate. Nutrients, oxygen and water, the fuel sources, the nutrients, the materials to build, repair, and rejuvenate, enzyme production. We're going to be talking a lot about enzymes because they're the spark of life. That's what it comes down to. They're like the automobile. You've got to have that spark to ignite that fuel, right? Well, that's what our enzymes are. And keep in mind, even antioxidants are enzymes. Superoxide dismutase, glutathione, all of those. Hormone production, that keeps us balanced, that keeps us happy, right? Now, keep in mind, the real core about AlphaMeta is cellular energy, and it even has a patent for that. So that's the essence of the AlphaMeta. If you look at it, everything comes down in the bottom line there, energy production, right? Because you have to have cellular detoxification, cellular repair of all those cells that get damaged by antioxidants and all the chemicals and toxins we're constantly exposed to. Basically, AlphaMeta is pre-digested to a certain extent, and that's a mechanical process, no chemical use whatsoever, to make it what they call bioavailable for your whole gastrointestinal system. And it's recognized by the body cell. There was a study done, I think it was at Cambridge in England, where they showed that these cells actually are capable of recognizing or rejecting certain foods. Isn't that interesting? Every cell in your body is a whole universe. AlphaMeta is not a drug, and it doesn't heal or cure anything. What it does, though, it gives the body the power to heal itself. We've got what's called the innate wisdom, functional food for the cell, the alpha PSP, heritage food for human beings. When you think about it, especially Asia and many other countries too, rice has been the core of nutrition forever. Recognized by the cells, digestible, absorbable, and hypoallergenic. So many people are allergic to wheat. Two reasons. For one, it's rancid, and the other one, most of it's GMO. And I can tell you the cell just basically, and they've shown that, does not recognize GMO. That's why it has allergies to it. AlphaMeta, patented technology, stabilization technology. Now, what this does prevents oxidation of raw material, and I'm going to show you what that's about. Maintains the freshness, high pressure and low temperature, prevents deterioration of nutrients. Now, this stabilization process is proprietary. Like I said, I don't know of any other company in the world that's been able to fully accomplish this. Here is the difference. Look at the rice under high-powered microscope there, the molds on it of rice, and look at the fresh rice. That's the difference, the rancid, oxidized. And that's for wheat, that's for barley, that's for basically any grain. Why do I know that? Why do I say that? Because we did a study in basically 5% oxidation of grains. They do not feed that to pigs anymore. Basically, I mean, people do, but they're not supposed to by Canadian law. Anything above 5% rancidity, you're not supposed to feed to the animals. Well, look at this. Look at white rice. In just 3 to 5 hours, look at the difference. immediately and look at after 2 weeks, the rancidity is like 5 times what it should be. But the stabilized brown rice, look after 2 weeks, even after 2 months, even after 2 years, and even more, never reached above that 5%. Now, this is science. AlphaMeta patented technology, the mechanical hydrolysis, which I mentioned earlier, to pre-digest this so that it's immediately absorbed on a molecular level for instant optimum absorption. The body's going to use every bit of it either for energy or as a building block. That's all there is to it, which is fantastic. AlphaMeta premium raw material, non-GMO strain of rice. And I wish you all could go to Thailand sometime to the Seed Institute outside of Bangkok, about an hour. They have just columns and columns of ancient seeds that they're preserving. And all of them are non-hybrid, they're just basically native strains. And that's where your product, this product, AlphaMeta, comes from. 1 year cultivation period, which means one crop a year. Most of this rice is grown on soil and they get 2, 3, some even more harvests a year. They cannot have the amount of nutrition that only one a year has. So, and it's very exclusive. I can say that the company, we have thousands, literally thousands of organic farmers in northern Thailand under contract to produce this. If it goes through United States and European and Thai organic certification, it's real, because they come and they sleep with you. They stay throughout the whole period. Now, this includes cultivation, harvesting, processing, transportation, inventory, which means they watch you prepare the soil, and all of it has to be natural. Most of the farmers there have their own frog farm to be natural, their own ducks, their own fish. And, you walk out into the fields and ducks are laying their eggs out there. So they take care of the insects and the frogs do as well. And it's all harvested by hand. That's just what's so beautiful about it. I wish you could see the video. I've been there many times, and these people are just they're just so sincere, and they put so much care into their work and into their production. AlphaMeta premium raw material, no chemical fertilizer, eco-balanced cultivation, no pesticides, no herbicides, natural biological control. Why is organic so important? Well, I can tell you one reason. It's called glyphosates. It is the main chemical in herbicides called Roundup. Roundup is one of the most heinous substances on this planet. It has caused so much autism, cancer, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and many, many other conditions. And what it does, basically, it has a substance in it that stops production of your main amino acids, which are key to the building blocks of your cells. It also destroys your enzymes. It can also destroy the beneficial bacteria within your GI tract. It has so many side effects. And I must say, probably majority of rice grown today that isn't organic, they use Roundup. Here's the inventor and developer, Dr. Somchai Boonchuan. But here's what he says: energy determines the survival of all life. That's the key. Low energy and energy metabolism problems are the main cause of our body impairment. It gets down to that core metabolic syndrome. That's 85% of disease today. No drug can reverse it. It can slow it down, but it cannot reverse it. It cannot help the body heal and overcome that. AlphaMeta provides a solid base to support good health and keep our body cells active and alive. Strengthening immunity. The immune system, everybody's exposed to it. Why do some people get more ill than others? Because their immune system is not activated. It's not empowered. And you look at this, activate the immune cells, the T cells, the NK cells, which are able to strengthen immune response to the body, regulating and balancing the cytokine storm action in body to reduce the severe body inflammation due to that immune response. What we need is something that doesn't overstimulate the immune system because it already is. It's something that modulates. Modulates means basically you're balancing, not too low, not too high. You want to have it just doing the job it needs to do. Here's what it all comes down to. Metabolism is the way your body utilizes, digests, utilizes food, and dysfunction, cause of chronic diseases, cause of premature aging, cause of syndrome X. You know, what's syndrome X? Here it is, 85% of illness today. Hyperglycemia, hyperinsulinemia, creating lipogenesis, which is fat. Obesity may be the #1 cause of death in the world. Hyperglycemia, hypercholesterolemia, uricemia, you know, the kidneys, hypertriglycerides, all those conditions are basically related to metabolic syndrome. It's all about antioxidants, fight disease-causing free radicals. Okay, that's what is key. Antioxidants, you know, like glutathione. We all know what antioxidants do. You know, they're the key to protecting our whole body. And 85% of antioxidant production has to come from your liver. Guess what? AlphaMeta provides just the right amino acids to create these antioxidants. 85%. You can just take handfuls of antioxidants from pills and every other source, and you're only getting about 15% of your body's daily need. Isn't that interesting? It has to come from the liver. Leaky gut syndrome, it's basically holes in your GI tract, in your small intestine. And what happens is when you consume food, the proteins or the breakdown of those products are immediately released into the blood before they're metabolized. And they create reactions. They create autoimmunity, inflammation, it's food intolerances, you know, medication, stress, toxins, bacteria, food practices. All those lead to this leaky gut. So many people have this and have no clue that they have leaky gut. The great thing is AlphaMeta helps heal those holes. It rebuilds that interstitial layer inside the small intestine. And so it improves this leaky gut function. And the basics of AlphaMeta, natural cellular healing power, minimize the metabolic dysfunction. We can prevent that from happening. That is the key. And that's what's so wonderful about AlphaMeta. Skin beauty. That's one of the keys too here. You know, everybody wants to have nice skin. They need antioxidants, amino acids. They need the right source. Like I said earlier, they fight the antioxidants because they destroy the skin and they kill the cells. And it's all beauty from within. That's what AlphaMeta is all about. Here's what we showed with the research he did. He did photo aging parameters, 4 weeks of use. Look at the wrinkle reduction. 81% of the people, pores less notable, 66%, smooth skin, 87%, firming skin, 69%, skin moisturized, brighter skin. Look at that, 84% of the people got positive results. That is phenomenal. An overview of research findings. This shows the efficacy of blood glucose. 707 participants in Thailand. But look at the improvement. Before taking, 88% were over the 150 lab count for the blood glucose. Look at this afterwards. It converted to 62% being below, and look how it reduced it across the board. But you know, it wasn't so much we were looking at reducing the blood sugar. What we felt was most important is that we reduced significantly the diseases that these individuals had, what diabetes led to. And you can see here the percentages all above, 70% of the symptoms: constipation, eyesight, cataracts, heart, kidney, fatigue, skin allergy, gangrene. Look at that, 92% improvement. And think about how many toes and legs and extremities that AlphaMeta saved right there. Look at Alzheimer's. See here, normal brain activity. This is somebody without Alzheimer's. Nobody's home. Cells are all dead. Well, we did this research to show, and this was at PNG Hospital, a research institute in Bangkok, with the doctor who is actually now the Surgeon General which is the top doctor for all of Thailand. He did our research for us. That here you see the cells that were exposed to a neurotoxin, and then look when they were protected by the alpha meta, look at the protection. Not only were they protected, and you can see the numbers, but the key was here is we saw regeneration of the axons and the dendrites, which are interconnections between the cell that communicates messages, which you got to have. If cells can't communicate, they just die. So did Dr. Cyan, along with his associate from Emory University, Dr. Siddell. So they took this instrument, it's called an MTT colorimeter, and it measures ATP. It's one of the only instruments I know in the world that can actually measure energy in the body. Look at this, increased it by 54% over control. They couldn't believe it themselves. And then they saw the reason. They said, hey, well, this is a cell food. It produces cellular energy. That's why it's so beneficial. So recommended consumption, sprinkle 1 sachet onto water, beverages, superfood. Some people put it under the tongue, which is great too. But you can mix it in anything. Don't mix it in milk. Milk is really not the good food for you overall, I must say. We'll get into it right now. Stir and drink freshly 3 times daily for the first 3 months. It doesn't say warm water. I always use warm water. Every day I start my day with a glass of lemon warm water. Sometimes I have baking soda too, but then after that I have the AlphaMeta. And warm water is so good for the body. Don't drink cold drinks with your food. It suppresses the digestive enzymes. I see people drink ice water and iced tea with their food. I go, oh my gosh, they're creating a bomb inside their stomach. Stir and drink freshly 3 times daily for the first 3 months, and then 1 to 2 times daily for maintaining. Anybody who has an illness, please take at least 3 times a day because it'll help you overcome it so much better and recover from the illness so much quicker.